paskin something, it seems to be that there's a differing opinion, and they're just paskin not like that opinion. But we didn't say anything about Shemitah over here. So Tesafon Beis on top, the Gemara answers, no, we're really missing something from Thomas's statement, and really it is Esrog Achal Kitase L'Maiser ve'Achal Chanata L'Shvius. We follow the Chanata of an Esrog for Shemitah, and for Rabbi Sinu Nimnu Usha, they said Achal Kitase Bein L'Maiser Bein L'Shvius. So therefore we have a Tana that supports Rab and Rav Hamnuna. And Itmar Rabbi Yochanan Rish Lakish Amud Shavayu, both of them say Esrog Bashishis Shenichnas L'Shvius, and Esrog whose Chanata was in the 6th year and the Lakita was in the 7th year. L'Olam Shishis, it's considered a 6th year Esrog. And Kiasa Rav and Amar Rabbi Yochanan, he said Esrog Bashishis Shenichnas L'Shvius. Its Chanata was in the 6th year and the Lakita was in the 7th year. Afilu Kezayis, even though that when it got into the 7th year, it was only the size of a Kezayis. It was this tiny, teeny little Esrog, Manassas Kikar, and it grew so much on Shemitah, it became the size of a loaf of bread. Chayav and Olam Mishum Tevel. If a person eats it and he didn't take off Meiser, he would be chayiv for eating Tevel. That's because its Chanata was in the 6th year, so it is considered a 6th year Esrog, even though the majority of its growth was during the 7th year. And Tana Rabbanan, we have a brayso. Ilan Shachantu Be'eretz of Kadam Tu B'Shvat. The Chanata, the fruits of the tree, happened before Tu B'Shvat, Misasol Shana Sha'avra, so the Meiser is based off of that previous year. Achar Tu B'Shvat, if the Chanata was after Tu B'Shvat, Misasol Shana Abba, so you take off Meiser based off of the next year. Now, Amar Reb Nechemah, he tells us, and this is a new shita that we haven't had before, by Medvar Amrum, one was said, Be'ilan Sha'aser Shtei Brichas B'Shana. That's about a tree that makes 2 broods a year. Ask the Gemara, hold on, Shtei Brichas Salkodaitach, does that really mean 2 broods? We've had this word Bricha in Maseches Beitza, and it's used when talking about young fledgling birds, so why are we using that terminology when we're talking about fruits of a tree? So we answer no, Ela Ema Ke'en Shtei Brichas. It means that this tree produces fruits like birds produce broods. What does that mean? That the fruits ripen slowly and gradually over time. So then we'll say whichever fruits the Chanata was before Tu B'Shvat, so then it's before Tu B'Shvat, after Tu B'Shvat, after Tu B'Shvat. Avol Ilan Ha'isa Bricha Achas, however, a tree that its fruits ripen all at the same time, Kigan de Kolm V'Zesim V'Charuvim, for example, dates, olives, and carob, Afal Pisha Chantu Peresem Kaidim Tu B'Shvat, even though the Chanata was before Tu B'Shvat, Mez Asal Shana Abba, we're going to take off Meiser based off of the next year, because that's when the Lakita is. And on Rabbi Yochanan, he says, Nagu on B'Charuvim Reb Nechemia. Everyone had the custom, when it came to carob, they did like Reb Nechemia, and they went buster the Lakita and not buster the Chanata. But now Esvei Shlakish Rabbi Yochanan, Shlakish asked Rabbi Yochanan, B'nais Shuach, white figs, Shvias Shalahen, their Shemitah, meaning we have to treat them with Kedushas Shvias, that's Shnia, on the 2nd year of the Shemitah cycle. Why is that? That's because it takes 3 years for them to ripen. Their Chanat is on Shemitah, and Lakita only 3 years later, but we still see that we treat them as Shemitah fruits. So the Gemara says, Ishtek Rabbi Yochanan was quiet. Now, Amalei Rav Abba Kain Rabbi Yisrael Kain. Rav Abba Kain asked Rabbi Yisrael Kain, Amai Ishtek, why was Rabbi Yochanan quiet? Lema Lei, he could have told Rish Lakish, Amin Chana Reb Nechemia, I'm telling you something from Nechemia, Va'at Amatli Rabbanan, and you're asking me a question from the Rabbanan. I'm telling you something they did like Reb Nechemia, so why are you asking me a question based off of some other opinion that obviously Reb Nechemia doesn't agree with? So Rabbi Yisrael Kain responded to him, that's because Mishum to Amar Lei, Rish Lakish would have responded to Rabbi Yochanan, Shavat Rabbanan Va'avdis Reb Nechemia, you're leaving the opinion of the Rabbanan, they're the majority, and you're going like Reb Nechemia. We don't pass like a Yachid when we have the Rabbim, when we have the Rabbanan, we pass like the Rabbanan, not like Reb Nechemia. So Rabbi Abba Kain responded to him, what do you mean? V'lei malei, Rabbi Yochanan could have told Rish Lakish, Kamin al-Chanagu, I'm telling you a custom that they had, Va'at Amatli Yisura, and you're coming at me with an Isser. I'm just telling you this is their custom. Why are you coming at me with, oh, but that's Usser? That's just what their custom was. So Rabbi Yisrael Kain responds to Amar Lei, that's because Rish Lakish would have told Rabbi Yochanan, B'makim Yisura, this is something which is Usser. That's because we have to pass like the Rabbanan. Kinagu, just because they have a minhag to do this, Shavkinan Lahu, we're going to allow them to continue their minhag by the mere fact that you, Rabbi Yochanan, mentioned that this is their minhag. It seems to be that you agree with them, but we can't allow this minhag to continue. So Rabbi Abba Kain replied back, V'lei malei, Rabbi Yochanan could have just told him, Kiamin al-Chana Meiser Charuvin D'Rabbanan. I'm telling you something about Meiser of Carob, which is only D'Rabbanan. V'at Amritli Shvias D'Iraisa, and you're telling me something from Shvias, which is the Isser D'Iraisa. I'm not talking about something that's D'Iraisa, I'm only talking about something that's D'Rabbanan. And because of this, Elo Am Rabbi Abba Kain says, Timahani, I would be surprised if Mishiva Rish Lakish L'Tshuva Zu, if Rish Lakish actually asked on Rabbi Yochanan's statement. Ask the Gemara, what does that mean? Im Hishiva, if he asked him a question, Ha'isva, he did ask him a question. The Gemara clearly says the Rish Lakish asked Rabbi Yochanan a question. So what does that mean? You're in doubt whether or not he asked him a question. So the Gemara says, no, Ela Ema, what it really means to say is, Im Kibla Rabbi Yochanan like Kibla, did Rabbi Yochanan actually accept his question? By the fact that Rabbi Yochanan was quiet, does that mean that he actually agreed to Rish Lakish? Or was he just quiet because he was just thinking to himself that you're asking me a question from a D'Oraisa and I was talking about a D'Rabbanan? We're going to stop here for the day, pick up tomorrow with a fresh Mishnah. For now, everyone should have a wonderful day.